Henry Manning, politician. Sir Henry Edward Manning, KBE QC, 18 December 1877, 3 May 1963, was an Australian lawyer and politician. He was a member of the New South Wales Legislative Council for 25 years from 1932 to 1958, and also served as the Attorney General and Vice President of the Executive Council from 1930. Early life and legal career. Henry Edward Manning was born on 18 December 1877 in Sydney, New South Wales, the son of Sir William Patrick Manning, a prominent financier and future MP and Mayor of Sydney, and his wife Honora Torphy. Initially educated at St. Ignatius College, Riverview, Manning went on to study at the University of Sydney. Graduating with a Bachelor of Arts BA in 1900 and a Bachelor of Laws LLB in 1902, Manning was called to the bar in 1902. After distinguishing himself in the NSW Western Circuit Court, Manning became an associate to Justice Richard O'Connor and a law reporter to the High Court of Australia from 1904 to 1905. In 1904, Manning married Nora Antonia Martin, the youngest daughter of Sir James Martin, and they would have two daughters. From 1905, Manning returned to practice at the New South Wales Bar, where he established a reputation in common law, and the Vice Admiralty Court of New South Wales. Manning was appointed a King's Counsel KC in 1927 and was appointed as a Deputy Judge of the Land and Valuation Court in 1929. Political career. Manning first attempted to enter NSW politics when he stood unsuccessfully as the Liberal Reform Party candidate for the New South Wales Legislative Assembly seat of Phillip at the 1910 election, the seat of King at the 1913 election, and again as the United Australia Party candidate in King at the 1932 election. Despite this, Manning was nominated and subsequently appointed for a life term by Premier Bertram Stevens to the Legislative Council of New South Wales, and then joined Stevens' second ministry as Attorney General and, by virtue of his now leadership of the government members in the Legislative Council, Vice President of the Executive Council, on 17 June 1930. Manning, who had been interested in reforming of the council towards being a non-partisan house of review, involved himself in drafting a proposal, with support from Stevens, for an upper house of 60 members, elected to a statewide electorate by a joint session of Parliament. His proposal, informed by the significant criticism of the elitist nature of the current council, especially from the Labour Party, was subsequently adopted by Parliament and approved at a statewide referendum in 1933. Consequently, Manning, whose life appointment was now void, was elected to the new council for a 6-year term on 7 November 1933, and retained his cabinet positions until government's defeat at the 1941 election. On 2 January 1939, he was knighted as a Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire KBE in recognition of service to politics and government from 1934 to 1948. He was a foe. In opposition, Manning was unofficially regarded as the leader of the non-Labour members, but, affirmed of his beliefs regarding a non-partisan council, refused the role when offered to him. He further opposed in 1950 a proposal that the Liberal Party should form a party in the council, though his ideas for a non-partisan council came under attack from the Liberals and a Labour Party reanimating its long-standing policy to abolish the upper house. Elected to a second 6-year term on 14 March 1946, he retired from the council in April 1958 and was granted the title the Honourable for life. Later life. Manning was chairman of MLC Limited from 1945 to 1961. By the end of his life considered one of Australia's leading constitutional law experts and survived by his 2 daughters, Manning died at his home following an asthma attack in Randwick on 3 May 1963 and was buried in the Catholic section of Northern Suburbs Cemetery after a service at St. Mary's Cathedral, Sydney. References